Hi, I'm Chris Scoble, Westman Alternate School's Vice Principal. In this video, we want to explain a little bit about our lending library resource boxes in our personalized education program. More information on this can be found in our brochure for the 2021-2022 school year. In particular, I'll be focusing in on page 4.2, the lending library. The idea of the lending library is to ensure parents have adequate manipulatives as well as curricular resources for studying at home. These resources are designed to complement the weekly or monthly instruction that's happening in our schools, and then where most of the practice and study is also happening at home. The idea of the lending library is to get the hands-on manipulatives as well as the textbooks, or as a lot of people in the homeschooling world call them, the curricular resources into people's hands. These are print resources which are used during the week or during the month to complement and support the weekly or monthly instruction happening in our classrooms. The lending library resource boxes contain the curriculum that goes with the course. That's your textbook, whether that's a jump math or another resource, or in some cases they may be combinations of different resources that are print-based, at least usually print-based with some online options, that provide the content for the course of study. The resource boxes also contain manipulatives needed for the course. That may be some hands-on experiments that you might need to do for exploratory learning in science. It may also be the games that you play in another course. Okay. They may also be other enriched manipulatives that students want to do to deepen their learning related to the curriculum. Basically, they're the standard resources that families have been using in their programs of studies over the course of the last 10-15 years. So we've got a good idea as to what resources are commonly used, and we want to give our parents access to these to support the instruction that's happening at home. The resource boxes are broken up into manageable bite-sized chunks. So the first thing that you'll do in your course is you'll select which curriculum or textbook do I want to use for this subject. And there'll be 3 to 5 options of those. So you'll get your basically box with a textbook or information on how to access the videos that go with it. And those boxes also contain some supplemental material that's used to support the program of studies. So there's your first box that you would check out from the library that you would get to pick from. The second box would probably be the standard manipulatives and resources that the teachers are going to use throughout a unit of study or throughout a year. Those would be basic, and we're conscious of the size of storage space that parents may or may not have at their houses. And then you may also want to add in some extra resource boxes that you want to take out. Maybe it's specialized resources to help a dyslexic learner. Maybe it's you've got a student who really needs to play lots of games, and so there'll be a variety of games inside one of those boxes, and that would be another option you can take. There may also be book studies boxes that you'll be taking out that complement, say, math study. Let's learn some more math beyond what is being taught in the regular classroom via reading lots of extra books on that. And you as a parent have lots of flexibility in which of those resource boxes you want to take out to support learning. Now, there obviously will be a limited number of boxes you can have out at any one time. That way we can ensure resources get in everyone's hands. The lending library will also have independent resources, and these are material that our school has bought over the years to support learning. And so all this material will be available on a website. So the first year of startup, the website may not have a lot of images to go with the materials, but we'll have a list of all the resources that we have that can be checked out. And then the pickup will be at our campuses, either the Cardston campus or the Raymond campus. Now, another thing that happens with our lending library is we also are putting budget into parent council hands to support the purchase of new resources. So if you as a parent really have a resource that you would love to see our school buy, then the method we anticipate happening is that proposal would get submitted on a website that would go to our parent council. And then the parent council could then decide how to use that budget in order to support the learning that's happening in our school. And that is beneficial over the multiple years that we'll be running our program. That's the basics of our Westman Alternate School Lending Library. We're excited about being able to get hands-on manipulatives into the hands of parents that support curricular objectives and that also match what parents have typically used over their courses of studies over the many years. One of the big questions we get is what happens if the material from the lending library gets damaged? As a school, the main purpose is to get materials used by students. So that's our main focus. That supports learning. We would rather have a student playing with material than having it sit in the closet doing nothing educationally because of fear of them getting damaged. So we understand that materials will have a certain lifespan. For instance, board games will have pieces that get lost over the years. As material gets lost, because we have standardized resources, we can combine those sets together to extend the life a little bit of those materials. But we accommodated for all these issues in our budgetary process. So what we ask first off is use the resources, make learning fun. The other thing that we would say is treat them like you would your own resources at home. That way you can use them for another child as just as we would use them for another student. So in general, use the resources, have fun with them. This is meant to be a learning opportunity, and that's the focus of our school.